Yeah, it is. What's today? Saturday morning, the 13th of July, and we have a lovely guest here, Mr. Bentley Pascal, whose name I say wrong all the time.
Quite constantly.
How are you supposed to say it?
Pasco.
Pasco.
Yeah, the E is really
Oh, like Pasco, like the
yeah,
city.
it's Spanish, but they spelled it wrong, and yeah.
I want to make a plant cuttings grab bag, low cost prize. Some cool. I do actually packs that are going to be going out, and I feel awful about having not sent those out yet. And it's just been a wonderful thunderdome of stupidity on my behalf. Like, first things first, like I got all the stuff together, and I was like, I got all the boxes, right? I got styrofoam and I'm ready to go, all that stuff. And then the boxes aren't big enough, so I had to go get different boxes. Like an idiot. So I went and go get different boxes. And all the plants floating in a tank that I turned the light off. And the light was off for like 5 days or something like that, 6 days. So it was like total blackout on pretty delicate plants for like a long period of time. So yeah, they all sort of melted away.
Yeah.
So now I'm actually going through the process of retrimming all the plants and getting all the cuttings together so I can send those out.
It's funny you mentioned that. I have a very similar story. So I did July 1st. I did like my first shipping for a long time because it's really hard for me to ship.
It is a nightmare.
So I was up and down in my fish room at 4:30 in the morning. And I did not get to the post office with everything until 12:30.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the amount of stuff I had to pack, the number of fish I had to catch. And for one of the people, like the last thing I saved was this plant order I had. And one of the things that was supposed to go to the guy was some pogo stem and octopus.
Okay.
Well, I just yanked all of my pogo octopus out of my guppy mansion because I was going to replant it all because it had gotten a little too out of wire. Crashed. It'd been like a year and a half. It was time, right? Well, I had it stored in a bucket near the window.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, all right, there's enough light. It's pogo. It's pretty bulletproof. And I pull stems out. The stems are perfectly healthy, but the second I start pulling them up through the water, every leaf just falls right off.
Awesome.
Oh, no. He only wanted 2 plants and one was pogo octopus. So I reached out to the guy, and it took us a couple days to go back and forth just because he's a little slow on email, but that's fine. And just kind of figured out a replacement plant for him. Sent him some extra stuff as an apology because he didn't get it as fast as he wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
But, found a suitable, because I just told him, I was like, listen, the stems are perfectly healthy, but I would never this condition because you're going to have to regrow them. It can be finicky to do it right. Here's some options. Just tell me which you would prefer. Or I can just refund you money. Either way, I don't care. I just want to make sure that you get what you want and you're happy.
Yeah.
And I feel like an idiot. So, and it's so funny because they'd only been in there for 2 days.
Yeah.
And I've had pogo octopus in a bucket for a week and not had problems before.
I've
This stuff is like bulletproof. Usually.
It's super weird. Like I've had plants in buckets for a month, and then but fine.
Yeah.
And just a little while ago, like I had a bunch of plants like in a bucket, and I left them in there for 2 days, and they all melted away. I was like, "How is this even possible?" Like it's in my fish room, the temperature's correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's the same. It's sitting in my warm room.
What is going on?
So the temperature is going to sit at like 78 the whole time.
Yeah. It's too hot, maybe? Is it maybe too hot? I don't know.
Well, the
but
tanks are all that temperature.
It's super crazy. Like I'm just like I don't understand what happened. Like every once in a blue moon, and I wish I knew what the mechanism was because I would eliminate it. Like if I knew what the mechanism was of those plants like melting off in a bucket like that.
Yeah.
Because I've literally had plants in buckets, just in the fish room, for months on end, and they're just in there growing and being fine. Like
the
not
only
even
thing
a
that
problem.
I could think of, in kind of hindsight, and it took me until like half a week later, is I wonder if because there's no flow, no oxygenation whatsoever, that the night cycle in that lower light, it kind of half starved its foliage out, so it pulled that back to keep the stem alive.
Yeah. It could be.
Had I just run an air stone, would it have been enough? It's like the thing that went through my head.
It might, but it's almost one of those things like you start
Weird
adding
science experiments
an
to
air
conduct later.
stone and a. It's like, well, you just have a tank that's a bucket.
Yeah, I got a 5-gallon bucket tank for 3 days.
5-gallon bucket tank. Yeah, it's like, so
maybe I should
have
have fertilized the water, and then I should have done this, and then I should.
Yeah, and you're like, now I'm just maintaining an aquarium that I can't see in except from the top. This is weird. Yeah. So
it's a micro pond.
It's a micro pond. It's what? How many hogshead is that? It's one. So what is that? Like
1/12?
1/12 of
13th almost.
So what is that? 7%? 7% of a hogshead?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Is that right? 21, 26, 7. It's like 7.8% or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's not very high.
Let me think. Let me see here. 7.
Math.
Let's say 7.7 times 12. Oh, that's way off. I'm a million miles off. That's not 7, right? Well, because if it's 60 gallon, right? Yeah, I'm a million miles off.
Well, if you want to do percentage, you would just do 5/63 or 64, which hogshead you want to use, whether you're doing it based on wine or ale, right?
Yeah, because it's 5 over. That's right. Yeah. Let's do 5 over 64%. I know as a percentage. There we go. Oh, 7.8. Right. Hot dang. I'm excited.